Guys, Gunchimp here, and welcome back to my legendary playthrough of Skyrim on the Xbox 360. After the events of the last couple of episodes, I thought I'd bring it down a peg or two, as there's quite a lot of kind of housekeeping things we need to do. So I won't be offended if you skip this episode completely, as all I'm going to be doing is revisiting the potions that I normally use, and also on a personal mission to do three things. I want to get smithing up to about 90, so that we can actually craft the ebony arrows. Now, crafting arrows is only available if you have the Dawnguard DLC, which I do highly recommend you buying. If you only had to pick one DLC to buy for Skyrim, I would definitely recommend Dawnguard, just because it is so useful and changes the game so much. But that's one thing we need to do. The next thing we need to do is get Enchanting up to 100. The reason I want to do that is at some point I want to get ourselves all the way up here to allow us to put two enchantments on the same item. That basically means that, for example, the headgear that we normally have our Fortify Marksman perk on there, means we could also put, for example, protect against fire, or we could use it as an alchemy gear so that we can make potions on the road rather than always having to come back to Honeyside. So that's the second thing I want to do. And then chances are, once I've mixed all the potions that I'm going to need, I'm actually going to make Alchemy legendary again and redistribute those perk points in other things, mainly enchanting and smithing. So that's the general plan. The first thing we need to do, though, is we need to head down to the basement and basically grind our way to 100 in enchanting. As you know, in Honeyside you get the option to fit an alchemy table and also an arcane enchanter, which is kind of why I like it over Breezehome, because Breezehome only has the alchemy desk. But anyway, let's get on, and I'll just show you what I'm going to do once, and then I'm obviously going to just come back, cut out and come back once it's all done, because it's a pretty boring process to watch. But literally all I'm going to do is go into the arcane enchanter. The item I'm going to pick is the iron daggers that we've been picking up on our travels. The enchantment I'm going to use, I mean, it doesn't really matter to be honest, but I'm going to use Paralysis just because they're worth quite a lot, that we can then sell on for money. And the soul gems I'm going to use are basically all these petty soul gems. I mean, we've got over 100 of them we've been picking up on our travels. So literally, I'm going to pick Iron Dagger, Paralyze, and Petty Soul Gem. I'm going to craft the item and literally rinse and repeat until I get to 100. So it's going to be pretty boring to watch, so I'm going to cut back once it's all done, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in a second. Okay, so I've been grinding away, and as you can see, enchanting has now reached 100, which is my target. Just with the iron daggers, that's the easiest way of doing it. So next on my list, I basically, if we take a look at my mixing gear, which remember we made ages ago as well, creative potions are 22% more powerful. Now what I want to do is get that up to 29%. Now the way we're going to do this is we need to mix a couple of potions, craft some new alchemy gear, and then basically then use the new alchemy gear to craft more powerful enchanting potions and repeat the process. So I've brought everything I need, so if we just go next door to my enchanting alchemy lab, and we'll equip our current better potion gear. And what we need to do is we need to mix up a couple of fortified enchanting potions. Now, fortified enchanting potions, you can use a mixture of any of these, Spriggan sap and Snowberries, for example, or Snowberries and blue butterfly wings. Blue butterflies you find pretty much all across Skyrim. Snowberries you can find normally in and around Windhelm. That's the easiest place to find it. There's a couple of farms there that have just tons of trees that you can just go and raid. And then Spriggan sap, obviously a bit more difficult to get hold of, as you have to kill Spriggans to get it. But we're going to use, because I've got I want to keep the butterfly wings just because they're cool. So I might as well use up these Spriggan saps and Snowberries, and I'm just going to mix 4 of these. So as you can see, for 30 seconds items are enchanted 28% stronger. So let's make 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's that. And then if we go back over to the alchemy desk, sorry, getting this mixed up, the arcane enchanter, what we need to do is if we glug down one of these potions, so that's potions, fortified enchanting, take one of those, We're now on the clock for 30 seconds. And what we want to do is we'll take, for example, a ring. Enchantment's going to be Fortified Alchemy. As you can see, 28% more powerful. And we can use a Grand Soul Gem. So let's rename that item. And let's call that... okay, and let's craft the item. Okay, and then if we take a look... whoops, wrong one. You can see at the moment our creative potions are 22% more powerful. But now our creative potions are going to be 28 more powerful. So what I'm going to do, I've already made a ring. So I'm going to basically make a necklace, some braces, and a helmet. Or in this case, I'm going to use one of these circlets. I'm going to repeat the process. So it's going to be, well, let's run through it again. So potions, fortified enchanting, go to the arcane enchanter. Whoops, disenchant now. The item this time we've done a ring, so we'll do a necklace. The enchantment is Fortified Alchemy. And the soul gem doesn't really matter, we'll use a Grand Soul Gem, we'll rename it. And there it is, we've crafted it. So if we take a look again, we should now have 2 of these, there you go. And if we equip those, just to give you an idea, and then we go to our magic and active effects. As you can see, Fortified Alchemy 28, 28, 22, 22, and that is stackable. So that's going to help us out a lot. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and just enchant the 2 items that we need, and I'll catch you guys in a second. Okay, so if we take a look at that now, we should now have, there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our new mixing gear, but that's only stage 1, so we're going to equip that. And we're going to go back over here. And if you see now the Fortified Enchanting, for 30 seconds items are enchanted now 32% stronger, which is quite important. So again, we're going to knock out another 4 of these. Okay, that's that done. And literally repeat the process. So we'll go to potions. Whoops, our potions. We'll go on down. Arcane Enchanter. Item is going to be again a ring. Enchantment is going to be Fortify Alchemy, and as you can see, 29% more powerful now. Soul Gem, either black or grand, it doesn't really matter which. Let's rename that. Let's craft it. Okay, so if we back out again and just check out our items. Yeah, so we've gone from 28 to 29, which doesn't sound a lot, but it will actually make a big difference, as this is going to help me now get Fortified Marksman potions that basically once we enchant our gear, we should get the Fortified Marksman potion should do about 130% damage, which is incredible. And we can also craft some new archery gear, which will have a 47% attack bonus. That basically means that if we combine a Fortified Marksman potion with our new Marksman gear, once we make it, we're going to be doing over 1,000 points of damage, which is going to be awesome, let's be honest. So I'm going to get on and craft myself a necklace, a new headpiece, and a new bracer with the new 29% more powerful potion perk, and I'll catch you guys in a second. Right guys, so all the crafting and enchanting has been done now, so if we take a look at that, what that basically means is, hopefully, we now have 4 items which are going to increase our alchemy, our potions, 29%, and that's stackable 4 times, so that's really useful. And if we just check it out, I don't have all the ingredients with me right now, but if we check out our Fortified Enchanting now, it's now again 32% stronger. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, I just might as well show you, what the heck. Bear with me a second guys, I'm just going to run upstairs to my ingredients a little bit. Grab everything. Obviously we're going to be overweight, but it doesn't matter.
What do you need, my thing?
To run faster. Okay, so we've got our new mixing gear on, and if we get over to the Alchemy lab now, our old fortified Marksman potions were doing about a... Actually, do I have any on board? No, I don't. I used them all. They were doing about 113% damage, but now hopefully, so Elves ears, Juniper berries, that's one of the famous ones. Bows are now doing 130% more damage for 60 seconds. Yes, please. So what I'm going to do, because we're at 100%, I'm going to bang out about 40 of these, I think. So hold on 1 second. I've completely lost count, so I'm not really sure. But anyway, that's one of the main ones that I use. There's another one here, Fortified Smithing. Which you can see, Blisterwort and Glowing Mushrooms for 30 seconds. Weapon and armor is also improved 130% better. So let's bang out, I don't know, about 10 of those. Okay, Fortified Sneak, to be honest, I'm not really using them, but if I do reset Sneak, I might need them. As you can see, you are 130% harder to detect for 60 seconds, and you can also resist 97% of frostbite damage for 60 seconds. Definitely worth it. So again, let's craft 10 of these. Okay, that's that one. Another good one to have, Invisibility. Although we do have the perk now from the Agent of Nocturna, but as you can see, the Charus eggs that we picked up on a couple of episodes ago, if you combine them with either Lunar Moth Wings or Nirnroot, which is one of the easier ones, or Vampire Dust, you can be invisible for 130 seconds. So just for the heck of it, let's make 5 of these. Okay, another favourite of mine, as anyone will know who's been watching this series, is Paralysis. We do have the perk in Archery now, which will occasionally sporadically fire out a paralysing shot. But I kind of like to be in a bit more control, so you can either mix Canis Root with Imp Stool, which will paralyse the target for a whopping 32 seconds, or Swamp Fungal Pod, which you find around Morthal, and Imp Stool. So yeah, let's make about, I don't know, 20 of these? No, let's make 30. Right, in the end I made 40 just because, you know, I love it. What the heck. Next on the list is Potions of Slow. Now these are mainly used for money more than anything else, which is literally Deathbell and Salt Pile. And as you can see, it's worth 1,582 at its current standing. However, if you throw in some red mountain flower, hopefully that will bump up the value even further. Let's hold on 1 second. Red mountain flower, where you at? And it also adds 97 points of poison damage, so it's definitely worth doing. Again, we might as well make about 30 of these. They're only for selling. I'm not really going to be using them in combat, although it could be quite useful. So yeah, let's make 30 of these. Oops, and again I think I overpassed the mark, not to worry. Now next up on my list is the Anti-Dragon Potion, which is, let's do this the old fashioned way, so it's Mudcrab Chitin, which you can get by whacking mudcrabs, which is kind of fun, so they're quite easy to find as well. So Mudcrab Chitin, there's that one. And then we also need Snowberries, which, as you know, is around Windhelm. There's quite a few farms that just have them in the back of the farm, so that's easy to pick up as well. And then the other one is Purple Mountain Flower, which again is abundant all over Skyrim, especially around Whiterun, that kind of places. Means you can see 425, we've got loads of these. And what this will do, it will resist 97% of fire damage for 60 seconds, 97% of frost damage for 60 seconds, and also restores stamina, so that's quite useful. So make some of those. However, I did have a better one actually, which I think, instead of the Purple Mountain Flower, I think it was Thistle. It's Thistle Branch. Yeah, this is one. So it's Mudcrab Chitin, Snowberries and Thistle Branch. And what this does is resists 104% of poison for 60 seconds, 97% of fire damage and 97% of frost damage. Now, why is that important? Mainly because I've noticed that the revered dragons are using a poison attack shout, so this could be quite useful to have. So I'm going to knock out about 20 of these, I think. Okay, and next up, because we are at Alchemy's at 100%, we might as well make one of the most expensive potions in the game. I mean, to be honest, there's not really much point making it because no trader in Skyrim is going to have enough money to buy it. But just to show you, there's Giant's Toe together with Creep Cluster. Where's Creep Cluster? Creep Cluster and Wheat, which is again abundant all over the place. Creep Cluster you'll find in around Kinesgrove, so you just have to run around the roads there and you'll find loads of it. Wheat, there we go. It's worth 3,120. So that's, oh, sorry, my mistake. It's worth 5,256, which is way more than any trader is going to have. So there's not really any point making that. So we've done Paralysis, we've done Slow, we've done Fortified Marksman, Fortified Sneak. They're the ones that I mainly use. I showed you the Enchanting one. Fortified Smithing, it's Blisterwort and Glowing Mushrooms. You can make a fortified Barter potion as well, which is kind of useful early on in the game. That's quite simply with Dragon's Tongue, which again you find around Kinesgrove on the roads. I'll just find that 1 second. Dragon's Tongue and Tundra Cotton, which again you'll find in and around Whiterun. Quite abundant, it's quite easy to see, it's just a big white plant. Where is that? Tundra Cotton, there you go. You can haggle for 32% better prices for 30 seconds, not really that useful. But to be honest, I think I've done all the main potions I actually want. So what we're going to do now is, I'll just back out of here for a second. And, whoops, I'll just double check that I do actually have all the potions that I want. So we have 42 Fortified Marksman potions, which would be awesome. Fortified Smithing, we have 11 of those, which is good. Fortified Sneak, we have 10, just in case I decide to make Sneak legendary. Invisibility potions, we have 20 anti-dragon potions, which is good. And we also have 31 poisons of slow, which I might actually start using in combat against the dragons, just because it does 97 points of poison damage, which is way more than even the potent poison does. So that's all good. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go to our skills. Oops, not that way. Let's go this way. So Alchemy's at 100. We're going to make it legendary. So this is available once you get it to 100. You'll have the option with the patch that came out last April in 2013 to basically make your skills legendary. And what this means is it kind of lifts the leveling cap because you can reclaim all the perks. So for example, just by doing that, Alchemy is down to 15, which is the base for my character. But I now have 10 perks that I can spend on other things, which is kind of useful. Because archery, we've got light armor. Put one in light armor. Yep. So now our light armor won't weigh anything either, which is pretty damn useful. So we can switch between light and heavy armor now, it's not a problem. But what I mainly want to concern myself with, before I get carried away, is we'll put a point in that so that we can get to this extra effects. And then what we want to do, whoop, come on, put all the rest of the points into smithing. I can now craft my ebony arrows because I have Dawn Guard, which I will show you in a second. And Daedric, no, we don't have enough for Daedric. So I still need to keep 2 of these points to put into smithing at a later date. Anything else that we can spend 2 points on that's actually worth it? No. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll put them back into Alchemy, just to make our potions worth a little bit more. Now what I'll show you is, as a base character when you first start the game, there's a couple of potions that are really good to start you leveling up Alchemy really quickly. The first one is Blue Mountain Flower, Lavender and Wheat, which are all ingredients you can find pretty much in the first part of the game as soon as you come out of the cave. Once you have Helgen, once you've escaped Helgen itself and you're on your path on the way down to Riverwood, you're going to pretty much find blue mountain flowers everywhere. And then lavender and wheat you're going to find on your way down to Whiterun. So it's really, quite an easy potion to start with. It's worth 357, and that's just with alchemy at 15, so it's quite a good source of money. If you check out the bar, it takes 2 of those to level up alchemy 1 level. So let's just use up as much wheat as we can. Okay, so just by doing that, we've leveled up alchemy to 26, which is pretty good. Obviously as a low level character you'd also be leveling up your character with that. Another good one to use just for the money side of things is if you go to Kynesgrove and pick up Dragon's Tongue, and you combine that with Fly Amanita, which are these red kind of tooled stools. You can find a couple of those in Riverwood as you first arrive. And also Mora Tapinella, which again on the way down to Riverwood you're going to find on tree trunks basically. They look kind of like those mushroomy things. If you mix them together, it's a potion of regenerate stamina, which again my alchemy level is only 26, and it's already worth 1,000. But that's mainly because of the gear that I've got. But to show you this another way, let's take off our mixing gear. Then I give you a better idea of these potions as they are as an early level character. Because what I want to do with the rest of this video is just kind of make it a bit of a recap of the potions that I use. I'm going to leave all the potions in the description as well. So it's Dragon Tongue, Fly Amanita, and Mora Tapinella. Of these, Dragon's Tongue is probably the more difficult one to find, just because you have to go all the way to Kynesgrove to find them. There we go, Mora Tapinella. As you can see, without any kind of perks to alchemy, it's worth 427. So you just want to bang out, again, make about 3 or 4 of these and you're already leveling up your alchemy. So I'm just going to use up as much of this as I can. As you can see, just by doing these simple ingredients, we've already got alchemy up to 43, which is kind of amazing. Another good one to do, while that just keeps getting on about how far we've gone, is blue mountain flower, which again is quite easy to find. Bone meal, which you'll get from killing draugrs and skeletons, that kind of thing. And also chicken's eggs, which you can find on farms. We've not got that many, but as you can see again, 328 is the value. I mean, obviously that's not the value you'd probably get with a trader, just because depending on your speech level it could be lower than that. But again, it levels up quite quickly. And that's pretty much it for this episode, I think, really. I'm not going to bore you too much with all these ingredients and potions. I will leave them in the description, though, for anyone who's interested, as they are the potions I've been using throughout this Let's Play. And to be honest, especially early on, the Paralysis potion and the Marksman potion have saved my life so many times, it's scary. But I hope you haven't found this episode too boring. Like I say, it's just something I needed to do. I really wanted to get those perk points out of alchemy, and I just figured I might as well make it legendary again. I've also got quite a decent stockpile on now of potions to help me out on our further adventures. So coming up next episode, as promised, we're going to go back to Dawnstar and complete another Daedric quest. For now though guys, as always, thanks for watching, take care and peace.